Hello and welcome to another daily devotion. As this week we close with Luke 23:33 through 43, one of my favorite passages of the New Testament. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right and one on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do." They divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others. Let him save himself. If he is God's Messiah, the chosen one." The soldiers came up and mocked him as well. They offered him wine vinegar and said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was a written notice above him which read, "The King of the Jews." And then one of the criminals who hung there and hurled insults at him said, "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God, since you are under the same sentence? We are punished justly. We are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." He said to him, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." First, this text is only found anywhere in the Bible in Luke. It is probably two of the most beautiful statements of the New Testament. And I want you to think about this for a moment, especially in a time when people are battling about who claims the truth of the Bible and what certainty of God's truth is, kind of onslaught of Christian nationalism. I want you to think about that the people that were most certain about God's will and what the Bible said were the people who lined up first to make sure that Jesus was dead. Yeah, the people who thought Jesus' teachings were dangerous, that his interpretations of Scripture were wrong, that he was leading people astray, that he was too radical. The good, well-intentioned, God-fearing people led the charge to crucify him. They don't know what they're doing. That's the other thing that I love about this text is in the face of human ugliness and fear that destroys the other, fear that reacts in attacking fashion, fear that uses anger and brutality, violence and prejudice, gleefully watching the innocent die. And what is God's response to human hitting rock bottom, to us at our animal basic worst? Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they're doing. He meets our brutality and our ugliness in incredible love, immeasurable grace, cutting us slack where no slack is due or deserved. And to double down, to use a card term, on that fact, Luke tells us a criminal, death row, a bad man by any societal standards, somebody who knows he deserves everything he's getting and then some, says, "Will you remember me, Lord?" Even in his last breaths, can you forgive a guy like me? And Jesus, unbelievably, in a way that's so far from human understanding, says, "Today, you're going to walk with me in paradise." Amazing grace, incomprehensible grace that tells us no matter how bad our mistakes, how ugly we've been, God has somehow enough room in God's heart, God's capacity to say, that's not who I made you. That's something you've done, but it's not who I made you to be. And of course, I'll help you to be who I made you to be.